Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an exclusive presentation of the Mikey Report. I am Mikey Edwards. Glad you can be with us inside our TMR studios here in Phoenixville. We wanted to give you a quick update regarding the some information regarding the shooting that happened on Sunday night. Of course, we do know that 59 people have been killed, 527 injured. Late night hosts were addressing the shooting and have been calling for gun control, for the politicians to talk about gun control. A lot of questions regarding regarding claims and whatnot, so let me just give you some updates. The shooter, Stephen Paddock, had wired $100,000 to an account in his girlfriend's home country of the Philippines in the week prior to him shooting the crowd at the Route 91 Harvest Fest, according to multiple senior law enforcement officials. His girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, was in the Philippines on Sunday when he opened fire on the crowd, but it's not known whether it was for her family, or another reason. She traveled to Hong Kong on the 25th and could fill in some of the blanks that we have regarding regarding everything when she returns to the States tomorrow, according to officials. The arrival airport's not known. They started dating, according to investigators, believe they started dating in the spring and lived together in Mesquite. She is not believed to be involved in the shooting at this time, as we reported earlier this week, as we reported yesterday. Sheriff Joe Lombardo of Clark County had said that we have had conversations with her and we believed her at this time not to be involved, but obviously that investigation will continue. She wasn't with him when he checked in. We have discovered he was utilizing some of her identification. She was initially thought to be traveling with him in Vegas, but she was not in the room in the hotel that Paddock was using when police blew the door off and barged in 72 minutes after the first call to 911. And there are a total of 72 firearms that were found between the hotel room and also his home in Mesquite. No motive has been determined yet. Officials have warned that the death toll could climb. So we'll find out. He was seen in the Cosmopolitan Hotel slipping and falling on October 30th of 2011. And he slipped in a puddle of liquid and sued the hotel, initially asking for $100,000. He ended up getting nothing out of that ordeal. The attorney, Marty Kravitz, described him as unkempt, slovenly and careless, and bizarre. And he was wearing crappy flip-flops with a beverage in a bag in his hand. You wonder what a guy like this is doing at the Cosmo. That was We had expressed that a little bit last night in our previous episode, but also this is just adding a little bit more detail. It was scheduled for a civil trial and went to arbitration in 2014. And according to the arbitrator's decision, Paddock reported incurring more than $32,000 in medical bills and also wanted to be paid for pain and suffering. He was stretchered out of the casino at the time. As a result of the fall, the document states Paddock allegedly sustained a tear to his hamstring as well as a sprained strain injury to his wrist and elevated blood pressure. No actual or constructive notice of any liquid in the area of the sundry shop. Or the sundry shop. A custodian was seen passing the same spot a minute before his accident, followed by about 20 other hotel customers, and none of them appear to have noticed anything on the floor or tried to avoid a wet area. The defendant earned that decision. So therefore, that is, Paddock was a millionaire with real estate holdings in California. Caesars Entertainment had granted him a 7-star designation as a frequent gambler with status at its casino properties. It's the highest level for high rollers, and it's by invite only. According to multiple senior law enforcement officials and a casino exec, he gambled large sums of money at Vegas casinos. Currency transaction reports show he had recently gambled more than $10,000 a day. And a lot of this is just rehashing what we said last night. There were 16 CTRs, the currency transaction reports, filed for Paddock in recent weeks because it was cash in, cash out values of more than $10,000. So he was gambling with at least $160,000 within recent weeks. He still owed $270 in court fees when he killed himself on Sunday. From that, we did say last night that ISIS had tried claiming responsibility, and here's a little bit more on that. It's ISIS's widely discounted claim of responsibility for the Vegas massacre is indicative, would help if I could speak, of its increasing desperation as it loses strongholds in Syria and Iraq, according to terrorism watchers. By the apparent false claims, it's becoming somewhat of a joke among the rank and file of the international terrorist elite. A former official at the Homeland Security and a counterterrorism expert. ISIS claimed that Stephen Paddock, who Vegas police say killed 59 people and injured the 527, was a soldier of the Islamic State, but gave no evidence to back up its claim. And citing a security source, the group's media arm carried out the attack in response to calls to target coalition countries. Unusually, ISIS doubled down on the claim, releasing a second statement claiming he had recently converted to Islam. The FBI quickly dismissed those, as we had stated prior, saying at this stage there was no evidence he had any connection. to an international terrorist group, even though it is the deadliest mass shooting in modern American history. And he was solely responsible for this heinous act, according to the Assistant Clark County Sheriff, Todd Fazzullo. So, there's a lot of false information going around. There's actually people saying that there was a second shooter, which was not the case, as we had previously seen. The motive, what was the motive? We're still trying to find out. Now, inside his suite on the 32nd floor of Mandalay Bay, police found a sledgehammer, 13 suitcases, which is kind of weird to have taken 13 suitcases with you. Unless they were very small. I don't think so with him carrying as much as he did. Investigators believe Paddock used the sledgehammer to smash the two windows from which he unloaded the bullets on Sunday night. All the little pieces that are trying to be figured out are trying to be put together. According to a former FBI profiler, he said that piecing together Paddock's life and any grievances or hatred he harbored is essential to this investigation. All the normal indicators that we would normally see, people 2 or 3 days later say, aha, now I understand. I know what's going on in this guy's life. In this case, we have no clue. We have no... Sheriff Lombardo told reporters, I can't get into the mind of a psychopath. We have no idea what his belief system was. His brother has no clue. His residence in Mesquite didn't turn up notes, emails, or social media postings explaining his actions, but there was a computer. Also, 19 of the 42 were found, along with explosives and thousands of bullets, and also ammonium nitrate, which is used in explosives, or which can be used in explosives. At first glance, his quiet existence didn't sound off any alarms. His brother Eric told reporters he was not a normal guy. He didn't have any known drug or alcohol problems or extreme political or religious views. He only received a citation, and the 2 Nevada gun shops say he passed the required background checks in the past year to purchase the firearms. Eric said he's groused when he'd lost. He never said he lost $4 million or something. I think he would have told me. Of course, we know about his father that we mentioned. And we know that Paddock's age is not the typical age of the mass shooter. Almost 30 years younger is the actual average age. Criminologists say while there's no typical profile for one, Paddock and the attack he carried out in several ways. the age isn't, according to an associate professor at Binghamton University, who's a forensic nurse and criminologist. Definitely the age is interesting. I don't think we've had too many in their 60s. The other thing that stood out was his method. Most of the shooters want to be face-to-face with their victims. This is like a sniper attack, which is unusual. He had semi-automatics, which ended up being used shooting. So it's going to be something that we are going to be definitely delving into and taking a closer look at throughout the next days as we continue our coverage on this on the Vegas shooting. I'm sure there's probably more, but I have not checked anything yet. So we're going to try to get info for you, and when we do, we'll bring it to you as soon as we get it. So keep up with us, and we'll be back a little bit later on tonight to give you more details.